fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Minipla Zenkaiger Series 05 Zenryoku Eagle. And this is the last of the Minipla sets for Zenkaiger. Well, I should say last of the retail sets. There is still the purple and black Jotagawon coming out a little bit later this year. And I believe that will be the last of the Minipla sets. But this is our last retail set, giving us Zenryoku Eagle. There are 4 boxes. As you can see here, the breakdown is on the side. Not too much over on this side, or the top, or the bottom. But spinning around to the back, of course, we have Zenryoku Eagle. We have the Zenryoku Zenkai Cannon. And then utilizing the previous sets, we can make Zenryoku Zenkaiger. All of which we will take a look at in this video. Back of the boxes, front of the boxes, they're all pretty much exactly the same. So not really much going on there, but gonna go ahead, get everything put together and stickered up, and then we will take a closer look. Eagle fully assembled and stickered up, and you can see here that they actually come with some pieces for the display stand so that you can display it in Eagle mode, which I think is kind of neat. There's just kind of like a tiny little indentation there, which just catches on this little nubbin right here, and so that just kind of like sits there. And that's kind of cool. I like that. And then if you want to display it in robot mode, you can just easily unpeg these. Maybe not so easily. There we go. They also give you a couple different sticker options. I picked the one that said Zenryoku Zenkaiger, but there's also one that just says Zenryoku Eagle, and I think there was another one that just said Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. So you have a couple different options there. But I like these little stands they give, have the Super Sentai logo on there. And you have a little Minipla sticker to put on right there. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and put the base stuff off to the side for now. And we will take a look at Zenryoku Eagle. He looks pretty good. Not too bad with the stickers either, I have to say. I think there were 1 or 2 out of the 4 boxes that had no stickers whatsoever. Obviously, everything on here is a sticker for the part that looks like Zenkaiger's helmet. But still, really, really nice. Apply it very easily. The 2 gold stickers on each of these. Over here, I would say the one box had all of the face stickers here for the head, and that was definitely challenging. I'm just going to pop this off for a second so you can take a look at all of this, but you have a nice 45 there on the front, and then you have kind of a gold sticker here for the crest, and then you have this sticker, and then there were several stickers up here for the blue. It looks nice when you're all done, and then you have to open it up, and here is the face inside. So they were a little challenging, but they look good now that they're done. And then this just pops right back in here. And then you have the dial here. This was one big sticker, and then one sticker for the piece in the middle. And this spins around pretty well. So that's pretty cool. And then you had some stickers down here for what will be the kneecaps. I mean, I guess that's the kneecaps. The legs on this thing are very weird. But anyway, Eagle mode looks pretty cool. If we want to flip it over to Zenryoku Zenkai Cannon, you literally just flip this piece out here. And you can see we have 2 more stickers inside. These look pretty good. They have all the Sentai red helmets. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's cannon mode. Not too much going on with that. And you just fold this back closed, and you're back to Eagle mode. But they both look good. Stickers look good. Like I said, not too terrible to apply. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. But the main event is Zenryoku Zenkaiger. So let's go ahead and get to it. So to get Zenryoku Eagle ready, all you have to do is remove this piece here on the side. Put that off to the side. These 2 pieces up here are going to pop off. And really all these do, the only way to connect these, if I can, it's surprisingly like well connected. You can see that there's a little slit right there. And there's just this little tab on top. And all you do is kind of feed that into the slit. But it really connects well, and it's just surprising to me. I don't really know why it connects so well, but it does. But anyway, you just take those off, and then this is pretty much ready, except for the fact that you're going to open these up. You're going to flip this out, and then fold that back down. So you do that on both sides. That's going to give you some arm connectors. I guess actually we'll go ahead and open this. So you can see that there are a couple of tabs here. There are 2 tabs here and 2 tabs here, and then there's a couple of tab connectors here. So you tab these 2 into this for eagle mode to kind of give that some stability. But then in the next mode, we're going to widen the legs here. These actually peg together, so we're going to unpeg those. And then you want to spread them apart just a little bit and line up the back pegs with these 2. And so that's going to peg in there like that. And that, again, just gives some stability. Now, of course, this makes you lose out on some articulation. So, like, if I lift this up once again and kind of get that out of the way, you can see that there is kind of a hip bend here. You have a hinge. You have a little bit of a rotation, not much, but it's trying. So, you're going to lose that if you use this piece back here for stability. So, it's up to you. I mean, obviously, you could try to pose it without, but this thing's going to be kind of a big clunker by the time we're done. So I'm going to opt for the stability, but I wanted to at least show you that that posability was there because it is, you know, made into it so that if you want to have hip joints for this big guy, you absolutely can. I think he even has waist. If we unpeg this once again, I think he has waist swivel as well. Yeah, he does. So that's pretty cool. So unfortunately, if you use the stability option, you're going to miss out on all of the waist and hip articulation and the thigh swivel as well. But it does help with the fact that he's going to end up being a really big boy. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that for the stability. And we'll leave the head for last. But obviously we're going to open up the head eventually. So this guy is just about ready to go. So we will start bringing in the other 2. So to make this form work, we're going to need the previous Minipla releases of Joragaon and Vrumajin. And the directions show you transforming Joragaon from the individual like beast modes. And I feel like that's kind of a weird assumption because you're going to probably have both of these displayed in robot mode because that just makes the most sense. And honestly, it's just as easy to get to where you need to go from the robot mode. So I'm not going to transform this into the individual beast modes first. I'm just going to go right from here. So, and hopefully you have it displayed the same way I do, just so I can show you how that works. But we're basically just going to completely take these guys apart. So if you have all of the like accent pieces on these, like the better feet and kind of the torso swivel here, we're going to have to remove all that stuff. So this is going to have to get lifted off. You're going to have to remove the extra torso swivel piece and just put that off to the side. If you have the big feet, you're going to have to remove those. Now, you don't have to put the other feet back on. It really doesn't matter. But you are going to close these up. And then go ahead and just take these apart like so. Then we're going to take this apart. We are going to remove the head. And again, if you took all the arms and stuff off just for the cleaner display, it doesn't matter. You don't really need them. So you can just swivel this piece around like so and kind of close up the mouth. Now, you can swivel this down, but I'm going to recommend you leave it out for now because it will come in handy later on. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to peg this back on here as it goes. And then we're going to have to close this back up. Now, if you leave that piece down, it's not going to close as well as you'd like, but that's fine. You can just kind of leave it like this for later. So just put that like that. We're going to take the arm off of this. If you have any of the weapons attached, remove those. Put that all off to the side for now. I'm going to remove the fists as well. You don't have to. I just think it looks better if you do. Because the way these are going to attach later, they're just going to be some random hands hanging off of things. And depending on which hands you had, like if you have the open splayed hands, it's going to look even weirder. So I'm just going to take the hands off as well. So we're going to take that all off. Close this back up. This is going to spin around. We're going to connect this back to this. And this might get in the way because this kind of has this piece down here, but you can still move it around so that it works. And then we're just going to close this back up like so. Make sure that all lines up. And then just put that down as far as you can get it. And that's pretty much it for that. So we can bring in our Zenryoku Eagle core here. And we're just going to start connecting stuff. So this is going to connect onto here. So we just peg that on there. And then this piece is going to peg on to the outside like so. And that's what I was saying, you just have a fist hanging there. So that's why I just went and removed it. And then you can kind of position that how you like. And the same thing over here. This is going to connect onto this. And this is going to connect onto this. So we have pretty much the top half of Zenryoku Zenkaiger done. We're going to put him off to the side again for a moment. So we can now focus on Vroom Majin. We're going to do pretty much the exact same thing and just start ripping him apart. So we'll come around to the back. We'll remove the wing pieces. We will take the head out and put that off to the side. Again, I'm going to remove the fists. If you have him holding any accessories, of course, you're going to want to remove those. Going to take that section off. We're going to have to take the torso swivel out as well. Any of those added effect pieces. Now, you can leave the augmented feet alone. I find that they're not a problem because they're just going to be feet again, so they kind of help. This is really on there. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take this apart. We're going to take this apart. We are going to want to fold this down because we will need this to connect it. You can go ahead and close this piece up, remove this arm piece here, connect this back on like so. Come over to Majin, remove this arm, put that to the side, connect this back on like so. And then we're pretty much ready to go. If you remember those two silver pieces that we took off of the back of Eagle, we are going to lift up these side skirt pieces and then grab this. And this is going to peg into this spot right there. So you're going to peg this in there like so. And then you can fold this flat back down. And then we're going to take her arm and peg that into this new peg here on the side. And just kind of angle this however you want. We're going to take Vroom, do pretty much the exact same thing. We're going to lift up the skirt piece here on the side, which I swear is possible. There we go. Then we're going to connect this in there like that. We're going to take the arm and connect this on the... Oops, so we push the flap back down so I can actually push this all the way in. And again, just kind of, you know, position it however you like. The wing pieces we'll come back to in a minute. So we are going to grab... We're going to have to kind of get the arms out of the way here. So there's a peg right here and a peg hole here. And that is going to peg onto this peg hole here and this peg. So just kind of pop that on. There you go. So here it's snap on. Gonna have to get this arm out of the way so we can do the same. You can see that there are 3 pegs right there. And there are 3 peg holes on the side there. So this is going to peg on. And it's a little difficult to line this one up, but it will all peg on. And at this point, we're pretty much done. We want to go ahead and grab those wing pieces, flip this piece around, and then we're going to, I think they peg in like this. I guess you kind of have some options. If you wanted to peg them the other way, you can. If you wanted to peg them down like this, you could. If you wanted to swivel it around so that they kind of angle up. I like them to angle up. Let me, just out of curiosity, I'm going to check the official directions and see which way they recommend. No, they have it angled up the way I have it, so. Again, if you want to switch them so they angle down, it's perfectly up to you. There's nothing stopping you from doing so. And then we will go ahead and just kind of open up the head pieces here so we can see the head inside. And that's pretty much it. This gigantic Frankenstein-looking thing. It's really a good representation, honestly. Like, it looks just like the DX one. I would do a side-by-side comparison, but there's just no way I'm going to be able to fit them all in the shot. You can close that, open that, whatever you like. It's just, there's a couple little things that you can kind of just tailor to your preference. So pieces you can kind of move around. That's kind of the nice thing about Minipla. We do have to go ahead and connect the weapons together. So we're going to take this piece that was over here on the side, and we're going to swivel this piece around 180 degrees, and then we're going to start connecting stuff. So the sword connects here onto the front. We're going to take the shield piece and open that up, which I guarantee this will come apart at least once while I'm trying to do this, because it just always comes apart. So, yeah, and there it goes. And there it goes. All right, get that like that. And then this is going to slide in here like this. The claw piece is going to peg in underneath. The giant tail is going to peg onto the back. And then the little pickaxe piece just pegs on here. So here is the massive weapon. Now you have a couple options with this. You have the connector that used to house Majin's arm. And you can go ahead and peg this on there if you like. And it's a little difficult to get in there, but you absolutely can do it. So if you want to store it on the side of the leg, just like the DX, you can. But what actually is pretty cool, if we take this out of here, if we use this connector piece, which we flip up, and you remember that I told you to leave that piece in the T-Rex's mouth, you can kind of tilt this back, and then where we had the head connected for Jotagowan, you can go ahead and peg this in. And it's a little difficult to get in here, but I swear I can get it done. Oh, now it's pushing it back. Come on. Let me get a hold of this. There it is. Okay, now we can close this down around it. And now it looks like he's actually holding the weapon, which I really appreciate. That's the one thing about the DX I super don't care for, is the fact that it's just like down there on his hip. This one can actually hold it in his, his supposed hand. So that's actually kind of cool. Now, articulation-wise, the head's on a ball joint, so you can get that to move all around. You have an arm swivel here. You have some hinges here, which it's a little difficult to showcase. Let me see if I can move the wing. Technically, you could move this whole piece if you want. This piece also right here can swivel. You have a bicep swivel there, which is, it's kind of tight, but it's there. You also have a hinge right here. So it's a hinge right there. And then, of course, you have the swivel where it actually pegs in. You have this hinge from what's connected to Gowon. So you get a lot of movement there in the arm, especially in the shoulder. Again, I showed you all the waist and hip articulation. That's kind of missed by pegging that in. And you don't really have much in the legs. You have kind of a swivel down here. You have that ankle tilt. But because of the way this pegs on, and if you have that pegged in, the legs are pretty solid. But he kind of needs it. Because, as you can see, he's kind of wanting to topple over. And I mean, if you want to get creative, you can unpeg that back panel, and then you can use all of the hip and waist articulation, because it's all there. You just have to make sure you find a way for it to balance, because he's got a lot going on with this guy. So, but he's cool. I really appreciate the fact that the Minipla can do this. If you have all three of these Minipla sets, you can build this giant monstrosity. And he looks neat. I mean, he looks as good as the DX, I think. He's definitely got more articulation than the DX. And, you have a bunch of pieces left over to the side, some extra hands and fists and torso pieces, but that's fine. Just keep track of them. But yeah, I think this is neat. I think it's fun that you can actually build all this. I think this one's a ton of fun. I think it executes all three modes nicely. I mean, as well as the DX could anyway, let's be honest. Eagle mode, not really much to write home about. Kind of just a flying rectangle with a tail fin, but it's as good as the DX. Stickers were pretty easy to apply. It was a nice build. I think the cannon mode looks great. The combination for Zenryoku Zenkaiger is pretty fun. Just a giant monstrosity. And if you have the other two sets, you definitely want to pick this one up so you can put that all together. I like the stand piece here. I think it's fun how it has these little pieces so you can display it in eagle mode. Or if you want to display it as the robot, you can easily pop those off. I think that's really cool. Yeah, overall, I really don't have any complaints. Just a random thing, I always wished this had its own robot mode. This is not, of course, a fault of the Minipla at all, but it's more about how it was designed for the show. But I always wish this guy had his own robot mode, and I feel like it would have been too difficult. I mean, all you really have to do is kind of flip this out, and then these could have been like his two little individual legs, and then maybe you could have like popped this piece off and popped a different head on instead, or the DX could have maybe had like the head swivel around and there was a different face back here or something like that. I feel like they could have done something, maybe take these pieces off and somehow, make them arms that connect under here. I don't know. I just always thought it would have been neat if this guy kind of had his own little robot mode. Just something that I still kind of just think about every time I play with this or the DX. Again, not a fault of the Minipla at all. Just something I always thought it would have been not that difficult for them to do something to give him his own robot mode. But in any case, the Minipla is great. If you, like I said, if you have the other two sets, you absolutely want to pick this one up so you can put Zenryoku Zenkaiger together, because he's a giant beast monstrosity of parts that's just really fun for all the stupidest reasons. So I definitely recommend checking this out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.